Hello, Reborners. My name is Karen, and this is Making Reborn Dolls with Karen. We're back with Jaxson. He's out of the oven, and he looks like this. My table's very crowded today because I have sealed a lot of dolls, and they're sitting over here trying to dry, and so I'm just working on this little corner of the table over here. But anyway, he's ready to start taking some layers, so let's make Reborn dolls. We're going to get out our brush, and we're going to get out our sponges for this color, and we're just going to get started on him right away. I need to get some work done today. I've been working real hard trying to bump up my production of dolls so that I'll have plenty dolls for doll season, and it's pretty hard to get everything done. I'm running out of supplies like glass and polyfill and bodies, and so they're piling up. I've got 5 heads up there that still need to be rooted. I'm almost finished with, well, I don't remember her name. Johanna, I think they call her Johanna instead of Joanna. But anyway, I'm almost finished with her finally, and I'll be able to put her together. I've got a lot of bodies stuffed. The arms and legs are on them, but they're just waiting for their heads to be rooted and put on them. So it'll go a little faster when it gets time to actually put them together. I did a little pre-work, so to speak. But we're going to get 2 coats of this color on Jaxson. And see, can't we make a pretty baby out of him yet? Let's see. Not that I think he's going to be ugly or anything, but when they're not finished, they don't look very good. So here we go. We're just going to put it all over his face with the brush, up in his nose. We're going to get his mouth and all these little places where it's likely, it's not for sure, but it's likely that the brush couldn't, the sponge couldn't reach. We don't know for sure that it will, so we're making sure that it gets colored by doing this first. Then we're going to just sponge over the top of most of it. Got to move this. It's just too close to the edge. And we're just going to sponge him all over his face, just like we didn't even paint him. Some of it won't get any because that's why we did it with the brush, because it just won't. But some of it will, and we want the brush effect on as much of it as we can get. But it's just a precaution to do it with the brush first. There we go. That's got his head. It doesn't take any time to do this part. It just is very quick and very easy. And I put dinner on because it has to cook a good while, and it smells so good. It is going to be roast with carrots and potatoes in it. Yum, yum. We love that. A nice beef roast. You can also make pork roast that way, but I'm not fond of having carrots and potatoes in my pork roast. I don't know why, I'm just not. My mother always seemed to cook pork. Well, not all pork, not pork chops or anything like that. But if she made a pork roast or just a Boston butt or something like that, she would put kraut in it. It was so good. I know in the South here in the United States, a lot of people eat kraut in either smoked sausage or hot dogs. My mother put pork in it, and it was so good. She'd cook it and cook it and cook it until the pork was just really tender and falling apart, and it would just flavor the kraut, and the kraut would flavor the pork, and it would just be delicious. And that's how we ate our kraut. I don't know if any of y'all even eat kraut. Sauerkraut, it's cabbage in a can or a jar. You can get it in a jar as well. But it's very good. And it's not good by itself, but you cook it in some pork, slow cook that pork. It can be a small piece of a shoulder, it can be ribs, it can be almost any kind of pork, but you cook it like you're baking it like a roast or something. I know most people nowadays put things in the crock pot, but the old-fashioned way was you cook your roast in the oven. Some people made a pot roast, but I like it in the oven the best. And it tastes the best. It has the most flavor. And you put that in there, a pork roast. I usually cut it into big chunks because it cooks a little better. And then just pour your kraut in there with it. You can season it any way you want to. Some people like it kind of on the spicy side, but you don't have to do that. And you just put it in the oven and cook that pork roast kind of slow. And it just, oh man, it is so good when you get finished. You just can't hardly stand it. It's so good. The pork will just start falling apart into just little shreds like barbecue meat almost. And it's just so delicious. But we're having beef roast tonight. We're having carrots. I cut up carrots and potatoes and put in there. And then I cut up some celery and put in there. I put onions. And it's just going to be so delicious. And when it gets finished, I'll use some of, what cooks out of the roast, and I'll make some gravy to go around it. And it'll just be delicious. We love that dinner. And then we just make something green to go with it, like, whatever, green beans or whatever you want. And it's just, man, it's one of my favorite meals. Whenever I get asked, what do you want for your birthday dinner? You can just count on it. I'm going to say, I want roast. Because that's what I like. I like beef. I'm a beef eater. Anyway, it's delicious to me. You just get us a nice, you can get a rump roast or a English roast or a chuck roast or whatever kind of roast you like, They're all from a cow. We kind of get a nice big one so it'll last a couple of meals. We don't want to make an elaborate meal like that and then not eat it 2 nights in a row, because it's so delicious. Sometimes we can't make it last, though. We just eat it and eat it. And if any other people are eating with us, it definitely won't last 2 nights. But it's just going to be so, so good. I can't wait to eat it. I can smell it now. Oh, man, it smells so good. It takes a few hours for it to cook, on low. You don't want to just make it into a rubber bouncy ball by cooking it fast. But we like it tender and, practically falling apart. We don't eat rare or anything like that, so I know a lot of people do on roasts and things, but I don't like that pink center. We want ours fully cooked and it nice and tender. So we cook it a long time. That's what makes it tender. I know we've been told by multiple people that we overcook our meat, but my mother was not a person that would ever cook anything rare or even anything under well done. In fact, she most of the time overcooked it. And so we learned to like that kind of food, I guess. I don't know. All our lives. And I raised my kids that way too. I fully cooked all the food. But now they eat, my one son eats rare and the other one eats medium well. Or medium rare. I don't know. It's medium something. I don't know. But yeah, I can't do it. I just can't. It's not for me. I just touch the jar with that. Get something on it. Anyway, we're going to get Jaxson 2 coats of this color. And then we're going to get him in the oven. I am so hectically busy with everything, every step. I have dolls in every aspect of finishedness. I have dolls that need to be dressed in there. I have dolls that need to be put together. I have dolls that need rooting. I have dolls that need to be painted. I have dolls that have been sealed and need to be baked. Every step. I have dolls that still need to be sealed. They're not done yet. So, I mean, there's just every aspect of making a doll. I'm at that stage on at least one doll. Which makes for a hectic day when you're trying to do what I'm trying to do. I'm hustling real fast. I'm trying not to sacrifice good work for speed, but you know, I am just not wasting any time trying to get a lot of dolls done for doll season, because you don't know what's going to sell. And after Christmas, I can slow down. I mean, to a crawl for a while anyway. Work on a doll a week or something, because literally making $6 to $8 a week is just killing me. I am so tired all the time. And I'm not that fast at rooting, though, so that's why I have so many heads up there that need to be rooted still. Okay, there's him painted once. We're going to get right to the second painting. I'm just going to dab him a little bit to make sure he's a little bit drier with this almost clean sponge. I just want him to be, you know, drier. That's all. His legs and arms will dry while I'm doing his head. If they don't, I'll wipe them too. I've been making some red babies. I've decided I'm going to tone down my red a little bit. He's very red. And the babies up there look very red too. Usually when they're all together like that, they look a lot redder than they do on their own. It's just the multiplied effect of all the dolls sitting next to each other, I guess. But I just think they're a little red. I mean, I like them a little bit dark, but not that dark. They're getting a little too dark. I think my red might be a little too dark. So I'm either going to probably put only one coat of blush on, or I'm going to water, well, I shouldn't say water. I mean, I'm going to put some more paint thinner in it. We're not watering it. We don't use water with heat set paint. But I say the wrong words all the time. I say water it down for when I'm going to put more paint thinner in it. I say sand for glass. I say cotton for polyfill. It's not cotton, it's polyester. That's why they call it polyfill. And so if you hear me say those words and I don't catch myself, I mean the other word. It's like, you know, when you're going to dilute something, you automatically want to say water it down. It's just one of those automatic things that almost, and the glass looks so much like sand that I end up calling it sand instead of glass, because that's what it looks like. It looks like a bucket of sand sitting there. And the same thing with the polyfill, reminds you of cotton balls, you know, and so you end up calling it cotton a lot. I've almost got myself saying polyfill every time now. Used to always say cotton. And then somebody actually asked me, do you actually use cotton or is it polyfill? No, it's polyfill. I just say cotton. It's just a habit. And I try to catch myself because I don't really want people to think the wrong things, you know. I don't want people to think I actually put water in my paint when I don't. I put paint thinner or thinning medium or Exodus oil or something like that, but no water. And I also don't want them to think I make my dolls out of sand, because I don't. It's just something that, you know, I don't know. It's from the era that I grew up in, I guess. Sand was a very popular thing that people did use. And if you had a stuffed animal that was weighted and it didn't have, well, at some point they started using those little plastic pellet looking things, but before that it was sand. That's what would be in your toy, would be sand. If you accidentally busted it open, sand would be all over your mother's floor, and she wouldn't be happy about it either. But it was common, you know. And so if you didn't grow up in that era, you don't know that. So I don't know. Not many toys were weighted anyway. Most of them were just had fluff in them, even dolls. They were almost a teddy bear weight. And when I say teddy bear weight, it's, about how heavy a teddy bear is. I don't know. Maybe they weight teddy bears now too. I don't know. But back in my day, they just had stuffing in them. And they were very light, like a pillow almost. My niece had a child with autism, and she got him weighted blankets because they made him feel, I don't know, safe and secure or something. It would calm them. It's common, I think, for people with autistic children to have weighted blankets and things. And uh, it was weighted with sand. I know because she gave one of the small ones to my little granddaughter who's special needs. She's not autistic, but she has special needs and she gets agitated too. And she thought, well, she's little, so this little blanket would fit her better than it does her big boy. So she gave it. Anyway, somehow my granddaughter got that thing open and some of it fell out. And it was just sand inside of it. It had like little squares all over the blanket, where it was sewn into a little compartment and each little compartment was filled up with sand. It was very coarse sand, but it was actually sand. It almost looked like gravel, really. It was very heavy blanket. But it does calm them when they're upset and stuff, and they get agitated, and they don't know how to get rid of that anxiety. I guess is what it is. I don't really know, and but they don't know how to calm themselves down, and the blankets just, I don't know, that it's not so much that they hold them as it just gives them that feeling that like if you were hugging them. So I don't know. I really don't know. I just know it calms them down. Work. Constant work. It's a good thing I like making dolls because I tell you, it is sometimes some back-breaking work. My back is killing me right now. I think when I get finished with this and while I'm waiting for the dinner to cook, I might go lay down for a few minutes and rest my weary bones. And I won't probably sleep, but I will rest. Just go lay across the bed and relax for about 20 or 30 minutes and let my bones rest. I just get so tired sometimes. It's just very hard to be a senior citizen and keep up the pace that I've been keeping up this last few days. It's just been so hectic. I've just got to slow down. But one thing I don't need to slow down, and that's rooting. I need to pick that up. I've just got too much to root. I need to get some more hair. I'm going to run out. And not going to have any, and I'm going to have a really lot of heads then piled up. Because as soon as I get the hair, it takes a while to get it ordered, to get it in. And you got to have the money first. So that's a thing right there, needing to have the money to actually be able to get it. And then after you get them all rooted, you still have to put them together. And if you don't have any glass, well, you're stuck on that step too. I'm going to be stuck on that step. I don't have much left in my little bucket over here. Could do, I don't know, 2 more dolls, maybe. I don't know for sure. Maybe I'm making them too heavy because that glass went like the wind. It went so fast. And I already need more. It's just a never-ending cycle of needing to have supplies. Supplies are very in demand. You have to have them all the time. We're almost finished with him. Crowded table. Maybe when I come back, I will have removed some of these dolls from the table. When I want to rest, I usually try to make sure I'm baking something while I'm resting, because I don't watch my oven. I know a lot of people do, but it's not really necessary. Once you're used to the way it works and everything, you don't have to watch it. I don't watch it. And that way it can be cool when I get finished resting. I'll lay down for 15 or 20 minutes and it'll bake, and then it'll start cooling. And it'll at least be cool to the touch where I can take it out of the oven and not burn myself. I don't think you really are going to get a blister from it. I really don't think so. I've never gotten one, but it's sure like a hot potato. You want to go ouch, 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 the whole time you're touching it. It feels like you're going to get blistered, but I've never gotten blistered from it. There we go. That's him painted. See, it don't take long at all when you are doing layers. That's his first layer. I am going to now do a little bit to his nails and his lips, because if I don't take this opportunity, they'll be behind. And I don't want them behind. Take all these out of the way, except the cleanest one, in case when I'm moving him around I see something that needs to be pounced again. Sometimes I see that, I'll go, oh, that looks funny, I better pounce it. And then I have to get my sponge back out. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do just hold them very gingerly when they're wet like this, or you can wait till they dry. I'm just not that kind of person that's gonna wait. Okay, he's had 2 nice little thin coats of paint, so now I'm putting it on a little thicker. After this coat of paint, he's only got 2 more coats. And if you want to tip the nails and not do a special layer for it, then you have to tip the nails on your last coat of paint, which is the blush. So that means I've only got this time and next time to make sure his nails look good. So I put a little extra on there because I want them to be a little bit darker. Before we get there, I want to be finished with them. You can just still keep putting on the thinner layer, but you might not make it all the way to the end with good nails. You might have to do another coat or something. So after you've done a number of light coats, and I'm talking very light where you can barely see them, you can then start to put on a thicker coat, because now the nails have plenty of paint on them to catch it and hold it. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna say it's never gonna run because you have coats of paint underneath it, because that's just not true. But it's not gonna run as readily or as much as it would if you didn't have, any paint under there and you just went straight to the heavy coat. And I'm gonna leave them lay on the table for a few minutes to give this paint a little moment to sort of dry a little bit. You don't really have to wait very long. You see they're almost dry right now, but the nails aren't. And I want them to be, ooh, that's way too much. Way too much for that little piece of a nail. This nail's just barely peeking out, and I just got way too much paint on it. I don't know how I got purple on my fingers. It's a possibility. I had some red on my face. I alcoholed a bunch of dolls, and I don't know if alcohol can change the color of paint on your skin or not, but somehow or other, I have purple on my fingers now. I don't know where it came from. No idea. Possibly this red ink pen, I was writing with it earlier. Maybe I got a dash of that on me, and when I put the alcohol on, I don't know. I just don't know. I just have a purple finger. That's all I know. Oh, that's too much. You still only need a tiny little bit of paint, even when you're trying to put a thicker coat on. Because if you put too much on there, it's still going to puddle up at the base of the nails and look funny. Then you'll have a baby with funny looking fingers. Okay, there's that one. It doesn't take any time at all to do it. getting any color hardly on that nail. There we go. Sometimes some of the nails don't want to color as well as other ones, but that's okay. On our next coat, we're going to just do touch-ups probably, because there'll be one or two nails that'll look a little bit lighter than the rest of them, and we'll only just paint those. Sometimes you get that. Now I'm going to do his lips, because once again, they're a little bit faded and light colored. It's much easier this time to paint them because we can see them. But I still need to take my glasses off. I still feel cross-eyed or something looking at these lips through those glasses. And his nose looks a good color inside. I'm not going to put any more on his nose, inside his nose, because it looks good. We don't want to get some funky, weird color in there. And when you get a good color, just stop. We're still going to put the other layers. When we're doing the layers, we still put that inside the nose. But I mean, it is a color now, so we don't have to worry about trying to build a color. We just want to keep it up with the rest of the skin so that it's not a starkly different color. But if you don't purposely try to get paint in there at the beginning, you're not going to have any color in the lips, in the nose at all. It won't have any color. It'll just be weird. Or any color you do get will be very vague. Okay. That's about all we have to do to his lips, except smooth them out a little bit. I don't like those darker lines in his lips. And his mouth is slightly open, so I put some paint inside there, and now it's trying to run out. So that's what I'm doing now, is trying to fish some of that out of the inside of his mouth. If it's too much in there, it will run out, and it will be on his face, and it will look like he had a bloody nose or something, or you know, somehow or other his mouth was bleeding. It'll be running down his face a little bit, and you won't like it. So that's why we are careful with our colors. That little piece of his lip didn't get enough on it. We want all the lips to be evenly colored, but not, you know, any dark spots. By putting a lot of paint on the lips, you risk getting a lot of it down in these little creases in his lips, and we don't want that. That looks pretty good to me. So that's what he looks like now. Lips and everything. So I'm going to just leave him here on the table for a minute and let him have a minute to sort of dry up a little. And then we're going to get him in the oven and get him baked. And when we come back, he'll be ready for his next color. And that's pretty much the size of it on putting layers on. Anyway, I didn't say, but that layer was skin color 05. It's about that color, but you see it didn't make him that color, because that would be, I don't know, a very tan person, wouldn't it? But anyway, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.